Good evening, everybody. This is the Oceanic State, back from a rather horrible week because I have been in the dentist getting my mouth drilled, and I'll have to do that again next week. So, not looking forward to that. But while everything's been going on, something I feel like is important to be discussed has happened, and that is the Shiloh Hendrix case has concluded, and she has been found guilty. Now, if you don't know who Shiloh Hendrix is, Shiloh Hendrix was a woman who was basically what had happened. I can't. I wish I could show you the video, but I can't because it contains some slurs, and this is the root of the problem. I don't know if YouTube will demonetize my video if I post it because of the everything that is being said, and I'm not tech savvy enough to know how to edit it out. So I'm not going to show the video, but what I would suggest looking it up yourself. But what she said was there was a she and her kid were at a playground. This is her. This is her on the right here. She and her kid were at a playground, and there was a little boy. I think he was Somali. I don't know if he was. I think he was Somali, but he was definitely black. He was black. And apparently, this boy, she had accused this boy of, I think, stealing something from her or her kid, and so she called this black boy a slur. Again, I can't show the video because I don't know if I'll get demonetized or not, but you probably know which slur it is. And this guy here, he hears this commotion going on, and he goes up to her and records her and is like, "Did you say this slur to this little boy?" And she's like, "Yes, I did." And then it gets this entire back and forth, and then he's like, "Well, say it to me, say it to me," and then she does. And then he's like, "Okay, well, let the internet decide." And normally you think that'd be the end of it. Like, there's nothing criminal that went on here except for maybe the boy stealing her stuff, maybe this guy harassing her, but she was actually not arrested, I don't think, but is sent to court for a disorderly conduct against the boy who's like, I think, 4 years old, and this guy who was filming her. And what she was booked under was, I guess, this thing called the fighting words doctrine, and apparently, using the slur that she used, which you can probably guess what it is, or if you go see the thing, you'll know what it is. You know what slur it is. Apparently, that is considered fighting words. And this happened last year in 2025, and we just got a verdict yesterday night. So the verdict was, I wish I could. She was convicted. She's not going to jail, but she's still facing like very big legal trouble over this. The verdict was upheld, disorderly conduct, count one towards the child, which the initial confrontation was not guilty. Count two towards the videographer, guilty. So the child, her saying the stuff to the child wasn't what got her in. It was saying it to the person who was recording her is what got her in. And honestly, that's a really wild verdict to make. I was expecting, well, first of all, I don't think she should have been taken to court over this. It's a silly thing to be taken to court over. I'm not someone who says slurs. I don't really like to say slurs. I don't like to cuss. I don't like to really do any of that stuff because I personally I see it as unproductive. But at the same time, I don't think you should be taken to court for saying them. But what I don't understand is, first of all, I'm surprised that this happened. I'm surprised that she was found guilty of disorderly conduct based on her speech. But what I'm more surprised at is the fact that what happened with the child was apparently not the issue to the jury, but what happened to the videographer, the person who recorded her, that was the issue. I would have thought that okay, that she was guilty of count one toward the child because it's a kid, but no, apparently she's guilty of the count two towards the videographer. And this brings up a really weird, interesting question, and that question is whether you agree with her again, whether you agree with her saying slurs or not. This guy, she finishes with the kid. She takes her kid. She's leaving the park, and this guy comes over to her, starts filming her, whips out his camera, starts filming her, and starts like provoking her, and then she says the word, and then she gets taken to court over it. Why? Why is it that this guy who decided to instigate everything is the one who was apparently the victim here? Like, you walk up to someone, you walk up to a clearly irate woman who just is trying to get her kid out of this park because something happened with the kid, and you're starting to like provoke her, and then she starts saying the thing she's guilty of saying because she's just tired of it all and wants to go home. How are you not? How is that person not the one facing harassment charges here? Now, the other interesting thing is that the guy, this person here who was the one who filmed, was the guy who he had harassed Shiloh, but also he was charged for raping a minor after she ran away from her foster home. And this guy actually, he's a sex pest, and he actually fled back to Somalia. So not only was she in court for saying words against this guy, she was not able to face her accuser, which is a big deal because you have the right to know who's accusing you. But no, he fled back to Somalia. And this is Minnesota, mind you. This is the cucked state of the Midwest. Yeah, and basically they sexually assaulted him and his brother, an underage girl, and had their charges dismissed in the interest of justice, while Shiloh got convicted for saying mean words. How is this guy even allowed near a children's park, first of all? And how is he not being booked for harassment? Again, I wish I could show you the video for context of all of this, because I think you would agree with me. It makes for a very sloppy video for me, but you'll see. Now, she was convicted by Judge Krista M. Daly, who is known for super lenient sentences for actual criminals, and has been sentenced to a $1,000 fine and 25 days of community service. But in 2023, the judge gave a pedophile 12.5 days of community service and no fine for child porn. I wonder what the color of the pedophile was, and I can guess what it was. I can guess he wasn't white for sure. So the good news is that there's a big I think it's Give Send Go or GoFundMe, either of those two, one of those two. It's for Shiloh, and she's raised almost $1 million. So she could pay the 1K fine. The important thing, though, is that this is getting appealed, and this is her lawyer. We're gonna listen to what he has to say here.
So we're gonna appeal it. We will appeal it. We have so many appellate issues, I don't even know where to begin. Judges screaming at me during the trial. Judges interrupting me every time I want to make.
Oh yeah, apparently the judge was really giving this guy a hard time.
Make a record. Judge says to me, Mr. Corrales, you keep wanting to make a record after I ruled. This is crazy. Most rulings during a trial by a judge are made during the trial. And then when you take a break, you make a record, right? You take a break, you make a record. I kept asking. If you're in there and you watch the trial, I kept asking. I need to make a record. I need to make a record. She'd get upset, run in the back. Get upset, run in the back. Your Honor, I need to make a record. it started piling up. All these objections started piling up. Your Honor, I need to make a record. I need to make a record. She'd run in the back. I'm like, Judge, we got to make a record. This is insane. This isn't law. This is a circus. This is monkey court. This is nuts.
I can't. Oh, whoa, 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 be careful, dude. You're going to be booked on fighting words charges for that, I'm sure, in the great state of Minnesota. But yeah, this has been a really weird court case. And here he is again. I'm not going to read the whole video, but I want to see this here.
What's your reaction to the verdict today?
I think it's pathetic. I think it's sad. I think it's sick. I think shocked. I've never had a trial where they keep people. This is a misdemeanor, by the way, till 10:30 at night. Never even heard of that one before.
Oh yeah. To top it all off, the jury was deliberating on this sentence for like 8 hours. 8 hours, and they made the people there stay up until midnight just to say, oh yeah, she's guilty of this fighting words and disorderly conduct thing. It was ridiculous.
Most courts, most counties, what they do is around 4:30, 5 o'clock is they say, okay, we're going to send the jurors home. They got kids, they got families, they got things to do. No, we're keeping them. I've never heard of that before. So that alone, I know this is a thing, I guess, Olmsted County, they do this. I thought that was bizarre. But the verdict itself, let's make something clear here. Let's make something very clear. She's acquitted, not guilty, right? Not guilty with the child. The state reads a 5-minute victim impact statement about the child? She was acquitted about the child. She's convicted on the count involving the cameraman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what?
Who they never called to testify. Keep this in mind. They never called the cameraman to testify. This judge prohibited us from telling the jury that Shire Jamali, had a GoFundMe page, $340,000. He testified that it was done in May last year, done. That's not true. There's a link on the bottom of the page that goes to another open account. My investigator hit the link last night, donated $10. It's open. You can donate right now. You can donate right now to Shire Jamali's GoFund page right now. It's open. He testified under oath and perjured himself. He perjured himself over and over and over and over again. This was without any stretch of the imagination. It was like I was fighting the prosecutor and the judge. It was like I'm taking on two parties at the same time. The judge and the prosecutor. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. GoFundMe. Huge, worldwide, giant. It's like Google, right? This is so big. My investigator was going to testify that this page with Shire Jamali's name on it. 5-year-old. The kid's 9. 5-year-old. $340,000 he.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was my mistake. I had gotten the kid's age mixed up. He was not 5, he was 9.
The judge would not let me show it to a jury. Sorry. The judge would not let me show it to the jury. Okay? And if you go through any of you right now can go online right now, and the judge, like, you can't authenticate this. You can't lay foundation. This prosecutor is telling the judge, oh, how do we know this is real? How do we know this is real? So anyone can make this up. You can go online right now, today, right now, go on that page, unless they run and take it down, scroll down. He has an open GoFundMe. He said on the stand he does not. He lied and lied and lied and lied. This entire thing's a shakedown. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. The prosecutor should be ashamed of himself. The judge should be ashamed of herself. I had a battle here for 4 days on a stupid misdemeanor, disorderly conduct. This is nuts. This is crazy. $340,000. Nope, can't show the jury. 5-year-old. Kid was 9. His name's on it. Can't authenticate it. Still open account. So we're going to appeal it. We will appeal it. We have so many appellate issues, I don't even know where to begin. Judges screaming at me during the trial. Judge is interrupting me every time I want to make a record. Judge says to me, Mr. Corrales, you keep wanting to make a record after I ruled.
Okay, and then that just goes into the other clip down here. Yeah, so that's really interesting and not beating the piracy stereotypes I see. Guess who went to trial first? This is Irina's Rutska's killer, and this is the woman who said the slur. Actually, it's not who went to trial first. Guess who got convicted first? It's this person. Meanwhile, Mr. I stand incompetent to stand trial here. Ah, gosh dang, dude. So this is Tom Hennessy. He's been following this case, and I think he knows Shiloh personally, or at least he's been speaking for Shiloh on social media. I don't know if he is a friend of hers or is just some guy in the area who made it who wanted to get involved. But this was the Day 3. Shiloh's attorney continued cross-examination of the father today after asking the same question 4 different ways with the help of translators. His father admitted under oath that portions of his testimony from yesterday do not match his interview with investigators last year. Yesterday, the father claimed Shiloh ran after the boy not only to retrieve what was taken from her, but also because he believed she intended to strike, fight, or rumble with his son. Shiloh's attorney pointed out that the original statement to investigators made no mention of that. The father was also asked multiple times whether he and his family had any involvement in the fundraisers. He answered no each time, but apparently that's not true. So he's perjuring himself, as the defense attorney said. But I mean, that's not what I saw in the video. I didn't see Shiloh trying to rumble with his son. I saw her trying to just get out of the park. She was walking away until the cameraman started coming toward her and recording her. But here's an update on, again, Tom Hennessy, who knows Shiloh personally and is covering this. This is a message from her. Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. I just got back home to my sons yesterday after being away from them for several days due to my trial. It's the longest time I've ever been separated from them. I miss them so much. I can't even imagine if they had jailed me for this. My family's hearts would have been broken. I am so grateful to be home. I have had an excellent team with me throughout this whole thing. My husband has never left my side. Tom Hennessy was reporting the truth the whole time to keep you updated. My lawyer, Brian Corrales, has proven to be the perfect person for this case. I also had a group of patriots serve as my security. I am so thankful for them all. I also wanted to add that I'm not on social media. I have been told there's someone out there impersonating me. Don't fall for their tricks. Yes, this is happening, and yes, it's a shame. We all know the verdict. We all know how unfair injustice is. This is why I will be appealing. Things are already in motion to do so. I will never stop fighting, and all of you give me so much strength and hope to keep my head in the battle. I don't know what I would do without all of your support. You've proven time and time again how great we can be when we stick together. It makes my heart happy. Thank you for staying by my side. Thank you for showing the world what we can do. Thank you for helping me protect my family. Thank you for everything, Shiloh. So I just want to close here by saying yes, she's appealing. And again, the question isn't whether or not she said a slur, or whether slurs are bad to be said or not, or whether you agree with her saying slurs. The question here is, are you allowed to be, or do you does the government have the right to take you to court over your speech? That's the question here. And apparently in Minnesota, yes, they do. Surprising to no one. But I would also argue that there's a clear double standard here. You see, Shiloh was taken to court for fighting words and disorderly conduct, but remember the ICE operations in Minneapolis not too long ago, and all the protesters and whatnot who were facing off against ICE agents who were yelling expletives and other things against them. Were those not also fighting words? Were they? Because they sure sounded like it to me. No. Minnesota. If It's not about whether or not you're saying something. They don't really care about speech. They care about who's saying the speech. The people who were saying that stuff against ICE agents will never see a jail cell, will never see a fine like this, will never see community service because the state of Minnesota agreed with what they're saying. Shiloh, though, she's a white woman. She said a slur on a playground to a protected class. Therefore, the state will throw the entire book at her and use every legal technicality to try and get her life ruined and not imprisoned, thankfully, but fined and sentenced to community service. Again, Minnesota, worst state in the Midwest. I don't know why you all are so cucked out there, but you know, she's appealing, thankfully. And I tell you what, if this thing goes all the way to the Supreme Court, I'm gonna be so disappointed in this country. So disappointed. Again, I don't use slurs. I personally find them to be uncouth and crude. But the precedent this sets is pretty bad. Anyway, I just wanted to keep you guys updated on this because I thought it was important, and I think you should think it's important as well. I will probably give you a new video on Monday once everybody who is coming over tomorrow has left. Stay safe, and if you're in Minnesota, I guess watch out because you say the wrong thing. The Democratic Farmer Labor Party-State headed by Tim Walz will come after you. Stay safe, everybody. Have a good night.